If you've been watching the mainstream media and are foolish enough to actually believe what they say, you would think that Kyle Rittenhouse took an AR-15 and drove 30 minutes across state lines into Kenosha purposely to kill innocent Black Lives Matter protesters who are out demanding social justice. And the Kyle Rittenhouse case is going to go down in history as one of the most deceptive and unethical media smear campaigns in the history of media. It's literally getting more difficult by the minute to tell the truth about what happened regarding this case because the big tech giants are censoring posts defending Kyle Rittenhouse, claiming that it's violating their policy against promoting dangerous individuals. They're equating defending Kyle Rittenhouse with defending somebody like the Boston bomber, which obviously only a terrorist sympathizer would do. But in this case, Kyle clearly acted in self-defense and was being pursued and attacked by the mob. What you won't hear in the mainstream media is that Kyle worked in Kenosha as a lifeguard. That's why he was there. Then after work, he helped others volunteer to clean up graffiti that the Black Lives Matter mob had painted all over the town. And there's a photograph of him doing this. Then his group of friends got a call from another friend of theirs asking them if they would help defend their business because the ongoing rioting was continuing after businesses had been burned down the night before. He even brought his first aid kit and can be seen in videos asking any of the protesters if they need help, if they were injured, and in fact did help one woman who had a projectile, a brick or a rock, land on her foot.
There's a medic right here if you need help.
What is it? She got shot in the All right, we're going to go over here behind cover.
He wasn't there to cause trouble or instigate. He was there to try to help keep the peace, since obviously the local authorities couldn't do that. Things got ugly that night when Kyle and his friends put out a literal dumpster fire that the rioters had started, and he can be seen in a clip rushing a fire extinguisher to the scene. That's what caused the rioters to completely lose their mind, including Joe Rosenbaum, the guy who was seen harassing the militia, literally telling them to shoot him. Moments later, the mob can be seen chasing Kyle down, with one of them firing the first shot as Joe Rosenbaum is charging at Kyle, trying to take his weapon, which was captured on video, and an eyewitness confirms, resulting in Kyle shooting him. Then, as he's fleeing the mob to avoid further confrontation, they catch up with him, knock him to the ground. One of them stomps on him. Another one approaches him and hits him with a skateboard. He's then shot and killed. Another one comes and approaches him armed with a pistol in his hand, and then he's the one who got shot in the arm. After visiting him in the hospital, that man's good friend posted on Facebook saying that he wished that he would have killed Kyle. And we all know what the media did to Nick Sandmann and the Covington kids, but this is 100 times more serious. And for those who don't know, Nick Sandmann's lawyer, Lynn Wood, has a legal team that is now representing Kyle Rittenhouse. And he's been defamed in the media even more than Nick Sandmann, with members of Congress like Ariana Presley calling him literally a white supremacist terrorist. Ilhan Omar also called him a terrorist, Eric Swalwell called him a mass shooter, and the list goes on and on. And at yesterday's White House press briefing, CNN's Caitlin Collins asked President Trump why he won't condemn Kyle Rittenhouse, and then the mainstream media mockingbirds in concert all started singing in sync that the president wouldn't condemn his own supporter who killed some Black Lives Matter protesters in Kenosha. And after months, or really years, of ignoring the Black Lives Matter rioting and looting and the Antifa terrorists, Joe Biden finally acknowledged that the Democrat cities are under siege, but he's blaming President Trump. It's showing up in the focus groups and in the polls, and it's making the Democrats look really bad. So they do what they always do. They're blaming others what they themselves are guilty of. It's the Democrat mayors of these cities and the Democrat governors of these states which continuously refuse to stamp down the violence and continuously refuse to allow President Trump to send in the National Guard or other federal officers to help keep the peace. In fact, on the very day that the mayor of Portland posted on social media that he proudly turned down President Trump's repeated offers to help, the mob came to his own apartment and chained themselves in the lobby and started demanding that he cut the police force by 50%. Beware that if you post any of the Kyle Rittenhouse memes on social media, you're going to likely get suspended. And his lawyer rightfully said that he would become an American symbol, but you can't talk about that. People are also writing songs about Kyle Rittenhouse. You may be able to find them on YouTube. Some of them are called the Kenosha Kid or the Kenosha Kid Ballad, and those are getting taken down too for violating YouTube's policies. Oh, by the way, multiple people set up GoFundMe pages for him, and some of them raised a significant amount of money, but GoFundMe shuts them all down. He's not even allowed to fundraise for his defense team. And Coulter was briefly suspended from Twitter for defending him, as was Cassandra Fairbanks, a reporter for the Gateway Pundit, and I'm sure many, many others. So we're in uncharted territory. We have a young man who defended himself against an angry mob, who was arrested before the DA even saw any of the evidence, which clearly shows it was self-defense. You're not allowed to say that it was self-defense. You're not allowed to fundraise for him. You're not allowed to say anything good about him at all. And CNN and MSNBC and all the rest are so deceptive, so evil, that they're claiming that this kid went there specifically because he just wanted to harm Black Lives Matter protesters. It's going to get more intense every day as the election approaches, and then after the election, it's going to get even more intense no matter what happens. President Trump, win or lose, they're still going to go completely nuts. This is going to be a big problem for some time. So be careful out there, guys, because we are in the midst of an attempted Marxist revolution. And if you want to support the police and support my channel, go to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and order my Cops Lives Matter shirt. But wear it at your own risk and be smart about where you go wearing that shirt or any of my designs.